Hi and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to fit a heated steering wheel. The parts that you require will be one female 3-pin plug, and this is the repair kit, so it comes with the pins, the crimps, etc. that you require for that bit. There's your part number. And we also need the 12-pin plug as well. Now this is the part number for the bare plug. You'll also need the female pins for that. And this is the part number for the female pins. You'll need 6 of those. Okay, you'll also need the lower cowling. So this is the version for the cruise control with the extra cutout. That's on one side, and on the other side you've got your button. Now this is the part number for the cruise control one, 9143645, and this is the non-cruise control version without the cutout, and that is 9143644. Okay, you'll also need the switch as well. You've got to make sure though that you get this short wire with it, because without the wire you're going to be absolutely stuffed. You cannot get the plug that goes into the switch at all from anywhere, so you must buy the switch with the piece of wire on it. Okay, you also need the squib, coil spring, clock spring, whatever you want to call it. 9169765 is the correct part number, and that's the one with the short piece of wire and the blue plug on the end of it. Steering wheels. Right, there are 4 types of heated steering wheel. You've got the manual non-M Sport, you've got the manual M Sport, you've got the flappy paddle standard, and you've got the flappy paddle M Sport. So obviously whichever one you need for that, that's absolutely fine. The most important thing, of course, is if you're buying this second hand, which presumably you probably will be, you got to make sure it's got this short piece of wire at the bottom there with the blue female plug in it. If it says it's heated and it doesn't include that female plug, it's probably not a heated steering wheel, unless of course someone's taken the module out. Now if you've taken the module out, you'll have to get a module for it. They're not difficult to get hold of. They are on eBay. Okay, so your next thing then is this is the loom I made up for it. I decided to jumper off the ashtray connections, hence these Molex male and female plugs there. That runs all the way around, nice length of cable on there, and I even put an inline fuse in that as well, which has a 5-amp fuse in it, and that goes up to your 12-pin plug, goes in the back of your clock spring, slip ring. Now this is currently wired up with the new wires in it, and then the 6 on the other side that are bare currently, they'll have the wires from your existing 6-pin plug that's already in the back of your existing clock spring. Okay, so now the other bit on here is the 3-pin female. That's the one that goes onto your switch on the side of your new cowling. Right, so this is the diagram of a 12-pin plug. The plugs should come numbered. So on the base, you should be able to see the numbers stamped in for 1, 6, 7 and 12. So obviously 1 and 7 are on the side with the clip on it, and this bit is as seen from the pin side, the slip ring side, should I say. So the numbers are on the slip ring side, and the open section, which is where your pins go for your wires, is the other side to that. So just bear that in mind when you are wiring them in. Okay, so here's your wiring diagram. This would be from the fuse, normally fuse 5, that's the official connection point for it. That goes through to pin 9 on the new 12-pin plug. And that is a 0.75 wire we need for that. Okay, so pin 7, this is your earthing point. Again, this also goes through to the 3-pin plug to the switch. And that is earthed from there. That's 0.35 wire. And that's onto pin 2 on the 3-pin plug. Pin 3 of the 3-pin plug goes to the pin 10 on the 12-pin connector. And pin 1 goes to pin 12 on the 12-pin connector They are also both 0.35 wire. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start off in the boot section. Open the boot up and remove the cargo partition back to its open position. Take out the boot floor and grab your 10mm ratchet socket and undo the negative battery terminal. Just pull it off and tuck it down the side there so there's no chance of it touching the terminal again. Now, to stop your boot from shutting, because you don't want the boot to shut with no power on, just put something in there to brace it. I've got a cardboard box here that I've just shoved over this bar on this side, and then just gently put the boot lid down onto that. That holds the box in place. Box stops the boot from shutting. Right, so get a screwdriver. Now, BMW recommend a T20 Torx bit driver for this one. Locate your closed hole sections underneath the steering wheel. There's two of them now. Just pop your screwdriver through and then locate your airbag retaining clips and pop them to right or left hand side. So I'll just demonstrate here. Pop it up through there, break it in, slide your screwdriver up, it'll touch the metal spring, hit the retainer, put your thumb on the side there, and then just pop it to one side. Obviously do this on the other side as well, and that just unclips the airbag retaining clips. Now you've got to disconnect the electrical connection for the airbag. Press down the popper and pull out the plug gently, put the airbag safely to one side. Get your 17mm driver and undo the steering wheel nut. Can be quite tight, but then again it wants to be. Use your spinner and spin out the rest of the bolt. Okay, now for disconnecting the wiring. Get an extraction tool and just prise your wiring forward so it's not behind the retaining clips. It's all rubber, so it just pops straight out anyway, there's no problem. I'm just using the tool because it's a little bit easier to get behind it and keep yanking at the cable. Then use your same tool and pop it into the top edge of the plug, just enough to undo the little retaining clip, and then slide it out. That's that little clip just there. Right, you'll notice that on the shaft there is a mark on the bottom of it and also on the bottom section of the steering wheel part as well. Make sure they're in line because they need to be in line when you put it back. Gently pull off your steering wheel and put it to one side. Right, again, get your trim tool, pop it in about, it's about 1/8 of an inch, 7mm, something like that, down, and just prise it in. There's a little popper behind it so it's easy at that position. Pop it up and get a slightly stronger trim tool, push the sections up, and then just prise upwards nice and gently, and that's your top section undone. Pull your steering wheel out and down, or steering column, sorry, out and down at this point. Gives you a bit more room to play with. Get a screwdriver, find that retaining clip there and just gently prise it outwards. There's one on each side. That's what stops the lower panel from dropping down. Just prise it out and just gently, you can see what I'm doing here, gently just pop it down. Release your steering lock again, and then out comes your bottom panel. Go out to one side. Again, Torx T20, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Undo all 4 screws. Now,
It's probably best at this point to actually disconnect the two plug couplers on the back. So you've got a pin on this one here, just press it in and gently pull it out. That's that one straight out. Let me just demonstrate it to you again. A little pin just there, press it in with your nail and pull straight out. Okay, for the other plug coupler, slightly different. You've got a pin on the top, and then you've got a rotating grey clip. So press down the pin, and that will release the grey clip, so you can just gently prise it down. It's looking a little bit more difficult here because I'm doing it one-handed while I'm holding the camera. Slide it down. Looks like it's out at that point, but it's not. It's got to be all the way down. As you can see, I can't pull that out at that point. So just clip the bottom bit down. That's it, and out it comes. Again, let me just demonstrate that again, just so you're fully aware, because you won't be able to see this very easy because it's the opposite side of the stalks section. So you've got to press that in, that clip in just there, and then rotate the grey section all the way around and down, and then out it comes. Alright, back in the car. Continue taking out your 4 screws. The only reason I recommend to do the clips first, it's a little bit more difficult trying to remove them when the old assembly is rocking around in its section. As you can see, I almost forgot to take them out at the time, so I took 2 out and then took the clips out. It just keeps it a little bit more stable while you're fiddling around with the 2 plugs. Again, put your screws safely to one side and remove your stalk assembly. Now, you need to remove the slip ring off the front of the stalk assembly. There are 3 clips that hold it in place. One there, on the top, just unclip that nice and gently. One on the bottom, right in the centre there. Again, unclip that nice and gently. And then you've got a double clip on the plug coupler side. Undo that little clip there and press down on the other side. I'll show you again on the press down that section just there. Double clips, just lets it come off completely. And that's it, that's your slip ring removed.
Open your ashtray and we need to remove the gear stick. So pop up your trim for a manual and give a good yank straight up on the handle itself. Now for an automatic, this version, again, pop up the trim in the same way. Then on the right hand side you've got the ribbon cable, and we got 2 little press tags on the either end of the plug, just there, top and bottom. Unclip that and then pull up the handle just the same. And on the older style there, just pull that straight up. The electrical connection is on the plate itself on that version. Again, with your plastic pry tool, try to pull up a little bit on the trim with your left hand and then prise the panel out with the trim tool. Might be quite tight. On the underside you've got some electrical connections. We've got the DSC one, the iDrive controller and the handbrake. And then at the forward end of the panel you've got the Molex connector for the ashtray if you have it, and the front panel connector, little clip on the bottom there. Just pop that in, unclip them. Put your panel over to one side in a safe place.
Okay, it also helps if you remove the centre console. Now this is, pop up the back panel. That was already loose, you can tell that. It's normally a bit tight right now. And in here you've got 2 10mm nuts. See them just there. Remove those 2 10mm nuts. At the front you've got 2 Torx 20 screws, and in the middle you've got an Allen head. So remove all those. There you go, that's the second place. It's a 2-part Allen head, and that gains you access to the centre console. You can lift it and manoeuvre it around. You don't need to remove it completely, but you can manoeuvre it around a bit.
we're looking for this. So what we're going to do, this is where I've already fed mine in now. So what I've done is obviously it's disconnected from the ashtray. It's fed through all the way around the back here, and then it's jumpered. So your original Rolex is plugged into the new female, and then the new male is hanging there. So we'll run it all the way around safely into the loom, so it's all the way around just to here. So there's your original 6-pin. So what we're going to do now is we're going to de-pin those and plug it into the other side of the new 12-pin, as per the diagram shown earlier on. So here we go, jumping ahead, we've de-pinned it and we've pinned it into the new connector, and then clipped the lock piece in on the end of it. So that's ready to go now. So
right, now replace your original slip ring. So big lug one side and the plug the opposite side to each other. And on the main cluster, you've got this large indent here, arrowed. It needs to be lined up with the indented arrow on the base plate there as well. Clip it in place. Place it over the steering shaft and screw the 4 screws back in that you took out earlier. Now it's time to replace the 2 plug couplers. So you got your bigger one of the 2 with your grey section wound all the way around in that position. So it's 45-degree angle. Place it in nice and gently, push it in, and then wind the grey section around, back around to its closing position until it clips in. As it rotates, it pushes the plug all the way in and then just clips and locks in place.
And then just plug your new 12-pin plug into its new socket.
Okay, now it's time to put your bottom the new panel on, which will be your cruise control lower panel. That's the one with the cutout in it. Unlock your steering column again. And present the panel in. Now you've got these 2 clips again. You've just got to prise them out a little bit. Let me get a better angle here. Here we go. Just prise it out just a sec, just a tad, just to do that. Just so goes over that metal lug. So you're just basically stretching it over it. So that's one, and that's the other. Okay, now you want to push them home fully. Let me just demonstrate. That plastic bit there has got to be above that metal piece just there, and that's the same on both sides. So you need to find it easier to push home the left hand side one first and then push home the right hand side one. Don't know why it works better that way, it just seems to. It doesn't always go on very well the other way around. I've since making this video found it's actually easier again to clip on the left hand side of the top section before the right hand side. Again, don't know why, it just is. It just seems to work better that way around. Okay, now put the steering wheel back on. Feed the blue wire for the heated steering wheel back through the hole carefully. Again, we've got to line up this line to make sure you're dead center, so your mark on the shaft is in line with the mark on the steering wheel. Plug back in your wiring loom inside the steering wheel and push the cable back into the rubber retainers. It just keeps everything out of the way, keeps it nice and neat. Again, get a plastic tool. Don't use anything metal. You don't want to damage any of that cabling. Just pop it in there and it just pops it straight back into the retaining section. Keep it all nice and neat and got a nice finish to it.
Okay, so the next one is the 2 blue plugs together. Plug them in and then tuck it behind that little clip on the left hand side there.
Okay, now to bolt your steering wheel back on. Get your bolt and just spin it on. Now you want your torque wrench. There you go, 62.5 Newton meters. May need to use your knee to brace the steering wheel a little bit because it does have a bit of movement in it. Okay, now to put the airbag back. Give a clip, line it up to the hole, and just gently push it home until it clicks. Give a little tug, make sure it's in properly, and that's it, nice and secure. So, time to put the airbag back on. Just line up the two lugs and push it home until it clicks, both sides. That's it. Your airbag's on, everything's done.
You just need to reattach your negative lead for the battery, push it on and tighten it up. Put the key in, turn it on, and test your nice new heated steering wheel. Now you may have some faults on the dash because of course you've swapped the slip ring over. So what you need to do is just make sure everything's working, like your wipers, your indicators, etc. And you can say test your button. So if you press it, it's what's called a momentary switch. If you press it, it comes back out to the same place. It doesn't lock in. It's not a lock-in switch. So you press it, a little light comes on, and it starts to heat the steering wheel. Right, let's do a bit of coding. First of all, open your OBD port. Get your OBD to USB cable and insert into the socket. You're looking for a light to come on here. You see just there, that means you've got a connection. Move it under the cable, USB, plug it into your laptop. Insert the key and press the stop button. Now, before you press stop button, do not have the brake pedal for an automatic or the clutch pedal for a manual inserted. You want to turn off any excess items in the car, like the fan or the radio, just so you're not drawing any more current than you need to. Go to your laptop, open BMW Tools, open IMPA, then you've got cable detected, yes, and ignition on, yes. So open up Tool 32. Go up to File, load SGBD, scroll all the way down, well, about half, just over halfway down. We're looking for DSC_89PRG, and there it is, just there. So that's DSC_89.PRG. Highlight it, click open, wait for everything to finish loading. Now on this panel, on the jobs panel, you're going to be scrolling about 2/3 of the way down, and you're looking for, I'm going to put this one up on the screen because I can't pronounce this. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So you double click that, and it's as fast as that. This one is what clears the 2 fault codes on the dash. And that's it. You're all set up and complete. I'll also close all the programs down and shut the computer off. Okay, so that's everything done. As you can see, no real coding as such required. That's purely to clear the 2 fault codes that will come up on the dash because of you've changed the slip ring. Other than that, that's it. Enjoy your heated steering wheel, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.